Welcome to the Team Superdad Weekender. My name's Johnny Jensen. We're part of Team Superdad. Tonight we're talking about the 1% difference that will keep you moving forward. How do we do this? Just spent the evening watching the football, sad to say, with my good friend and former podcast host, it's more like a sabbatical, but Glen, my co-host of the Wrap Up. And as he showed me around his new house, he was talking about doing 1% improvement each week. And that got me thinking about tonight's content. So sit back, relax, join in the comments if you want. Let's do this.
Welcome to Team Super Dad. Real dads creating their best lives ever. More time, more money, more fun. You are not alone. You're on Team Super Dad.
Hey gang, welcome. Week 2. Can we keep this up? 52 weeks. We're 2 in. If you're a maths expert, you can tell me what percentage 2 is of 52. I don't know. Can't be that hard, can it? What's 1% of 52? 5.2? What's 2% of 52? 10.4? Like, is that 10%? No, it can't be. 2 weeks, 10%. I guess it is. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, hope you've had a good week. It's Sunday today. It's been absolutely manic as usual. I've cooked, ironed, cleaned, watched football, exercised, cleaned boots, been to a dance, and managed to watch Tottenham. And here we are doing this. So I hope you've had a good Sunday, let alone a great rest of the week. If you're watching live, then you can join in on the comments. Pretty much most of the socials where you're catching this, you'll be able to comment and I'll see it coming in here. If you're listening on the podcast, great to have you as always. Remember to subscribe and leave a review if you're on iTunes. Always very, very helpful. Team Super Dad. We're a global community of motivated business owning dads who are giving up the burnout and swapping it for success at home and work. If that's you, then come on over to teamsuperdad.com/group and you can get involved in everything we do. We've got the Super Dad Club on Facebook. We've got the Hero Academy training. And if you particularly want the one-on-one coaching, then just hit me up at Team Superdad and we can talk about that. Or you can comment below. But I was with, as I was saying, Glen, if you haven't listened to the wrap up, I guess it was over the lockdown that we did the wrap up. It's not finished. It's just Glen got very busy at work. I got very busy here with Team Superdad. We both met wonderful women. And so things have moved on in an exciting way. And I was at Glen's house for the football. Yes, I'm a Spurs fan. It wasn't a great day. Kind of knew it anyway. On a positive note, they did say in the commentary that it was the first time or Arsenal hadn't won at Spurs in 9 previous visits. So I'm going to go on the law of average, that tonight was just about the law of average and forget all the other stuff. But having a beer with Glen, hanging out with the good lady Katie, seeing his new house. And as he showed me around, Glen happened to mention about 1%, the 1%, making a 1% improvement. If you've ever moved house, you'll know it seems never ending. Just like, when is the day that last box gets emptied? Glen's got like 100 kids as well. So there's a lot of challenges there, right? Anyway, as we walked around, Glen talked about the 1%. He said, yeah, we can make 1% improvement, 1% improvement. Now, I talk a lot about the 1% improvement inside of Team Superdad and the coaching. And the reason it's so powerful is if you make a 1% improvement each day, that's a 37 times multiple by the end of the year, right? So you'll be 37 times further ahead, 37 times better off than you were at the start. And if you made a 1% improvement each week, I'm told, because I couldn't work this out mathematically wise, but you can make a 4.9% improvement on the year. So that seems Lovely, sounds fab. But then what would that really mean in reality? Well, imagine you had, if you was talk about health and fitness, right? Imagine you were 4.9% faster, like your 5K. Imagine if you could knock 5% off your 5K time. That's probably more than you could possibly hope to do. If you could lift 5% more or do 5% more press ups, if you were 5% thinner around your waist, you start to realize, okay, that sounds like an interesting concept, let alone 37 times more something. If you want to earn more money, could you double your salary? Could you 37 exit? Probably not 37 exit, but you just start to make you think about what could I do to consistently move forward. And there's a concept about compound leverage, more to do with saving money really and investing. But Darren Hardy's got a great book where it very much talks about compound leverage, like what will happen if you keep doing something 1% better or a little bit more each day. That consistent improvement. James Clear, Atomic Habits, like habit stacking. When you start to put the building blocks of a habit in place, not only does it impact and create a positive result in that area, but you start to create a momentum, an intentionality, like that level of focus, the results, the money, the people you're involved with, your fitness, whatever it happens to be, that continuous improvement forward. You can't help but leave the old behind as you move towards the new. So it's also good for your mental health, right? It's good to know that you are moving forwards towards a goal, towards something specific that you want. We talked about fulfillment loads of times. If you want to feel fulfilled, you've got to have a clear idea of where you're headed and know that you're moving towards it consistently. That's the secret to fulfillment. Also, making small adjustments, maybe moving forward in small numbers is much more manageable. It's less daunting than trying to set a big, hairy ass goal. And so the same goes with giving stuff up. If we're talking about habits, I've given up coffee. I haven't actually, you know what? I haven't given up coffee. I've given up caffeine for January. I'll probably make it February as well because Lent rolls around pretty quick after that, and I always give up coffee and chocolate for Lent. But that's a subject for another day. But some tips on making a 1% improvement each day is what we'll come to about that. But the benefits, right? If we talk about your health and your wealth and relationships, benefits are towards your health of making a 1% improvement each day. It's when you like, how are you actually going to achieve that? Like, you got to adjust your environment. You might have to make things be a bit more organized. You're going to have to be um, more consistent in your planning. You can't keep moving forward if you're disorganized and decluttered. You might need to change your environment so that you're more organized at home, so that you shop on particular days, so that perhaps you delegate out some of your jobs, some of your things that take time, like ironing and cleaning today. Could I delegate that out to other people? So in doing all this, we start to not only buy ourselves more time, but we eliminate distractions. We get more focused on what it is we're headed towards, and not weighed down by doing the little things. So those, in regards to your health, that mental health part. By the way, if you want to comment, then you can just get involved in the comments. On most channels, I will see them. Yeah, it reduces your stress. So if we're talking about health, being more organized, reducing your stress, being more focused, being consistent around getting up, about what you eat, about the time you take to do things, this can't help but free up time and energy. If I think about this weekend, I've literally driven around Maidstone like Mario and Luigi. So wealth, what about wealth? Well, a 1% improvement in your finances, that's probably going to look at like getting more organized with where your money's going. And so in order to do that, you might need to create a cash flow. We inside of the power code, the training inside the Hero Academy, having a weekly cash flow is absolutely vital. Keeping on top of your finances in terms of your, because your expenditure, where's the money going? In terms of your income, what is it going to take to make that continuous improvement? Well, some of us are so busy, we don't even get round to coming up with new ideas. We don't even play with the idea of what could we do to create more money? What could we do to improve our business? Like we start to get more creative when we're focused on having a plan. Sitting down each week, even if you challenged yourself to come up with 10 ways you could make more money, 10 ways you could attract more customers, 10 ways you could be more cost efficient. When you challenge yourself to be 1% better each day, which for the people that are just joining us, that's what we're talking about here, is about the benefits of improving yourself just 1% more each day. You can't help but move forward. So like we were talking about wealth, if you're saying, right, how am I going to move forward? You've got to keep coming up with new ideas. That simple setting yourself that challenge, like doing this every week, setting yourself like without fail, I am doing this. You can't help but stretch yourself. You can't help but end up talking about it, which will attract more people towards you. This is the power of moving forward. This is the power of a positive momentum. And in relationships, when you decide you're going to improve something, it it's it should, what's the expression? It goes without saying. There we go. Why couldn't I think of that? I was thinking about something about standing, like it stands without question, which isn't really a saying at all. But it goes without saying that if you're going to improve your relationships with, then it's going to require you to have a look at yourself. If we're getting fit and healthy, if we're looking at our finances, it requires you to look at yourself and how you're being, what you're doing, and then what the impact of that is. So if you want to improve your relationships 1% a day or 1% a week, then you're going to have to take a greater deal of responsibility for how you're showing up. You're probably going to need to have more meaningful conversations with the people around you to bring them closer, to wipe away, to deal with friction, tension, upsets. But in doing so, it's exciting. Like you're gonna like imagine you sat your partner down, your wife, your girlfriend, and actually spoke to them about how's this going? What could we do to? I'm committed to making this whole thing that we are somewhere between 39%, which is 1% improvement each day, and 4.9%, which is 1% improvement each week. I'm between those two numbers. I'm committed to making this thing that we have that much better. What if you said that to your parents, to your brother, to your wife, partner, to your kids? Like not as a heavy conversation, but make it into a game. You're going to talk to your kids about, right, what could we do this year to have 39% more fun? 10 times more fun than we did last year. What would that look like for you? What would you like to do? So it should be exciting. And it should also avoid you getting stuck in a rut and and ultimately looking inward on yourself as some sort of problem, things aren't working. When you commit yourself to a 1% improvement each day or 1% improvement each week, you are literally raising the bar on what you can and should expect of yourself and the experience you have in this life. And that ultimately is what everything I talk about is it's about. It's about creating the life you want rather than feeling stuck in a life that you've no idea how it bloody happened. But I can tell you how it bloody happened. Complacency, not stretching yourself, not having a clear plan, not working out what it's going to take to drink 3 liters of water a day. Go and buy a bloody water that's a bottle that says 1 liter on it and drink it 3 times. Practically, it's that simple. So, which I guess it boils down to positive habits and routines, which with my fitness, High Rocks coming up in April, it's going to take that each day, getting up at the right amount of time. Last year, I did the fitness challenge of exercising every day. I'm way off that at the moment. And the number of press ups I can do, sit ups I can do, the speed I can run, it's all way back on where I was. So, yeah, a 1% improvement, that's the kind of daily commitment it's going to take. And I've got until April to make it happen. What could you do? I would love to know. Either post it here. We do have a comment here. Probably. Fucking, the King Gashian is spamming me with some. What's he even offering me? Some promo bullshit. Thank you, King Cashian. You can save that for someone else. Thanks very much. What could you do? A 1% improvement in your life, okay? In your health, in managing or making more money, managing your money, making more money, or in your relationships. Like, keep it that simple. Get a piece of paper out, 3 categories, circle in the middle, start to just come up with ideas. And then when you've got 10 of them, put it to one side, come back and do another 10 next week. Laugh at the crap ones, get inspired by some of the surprisingly random good ones. Where could you take this? What could you do? And if you're struggling to implement that, if you want to know where to start, if you want to get a real handle on this, then comment on this, or come on over to the Super Dad Club on Facebook, message me, whatever it takes. I will hook you up with one of the free introduction sessions, and we'll get chatting together. teamsuperdad.com. Subscribe and follow, share the podcast, leave a review. I'll see you next week. If you're on the email list, watch out for an offer this week coming out around the first intake of 2023. Get yourself on there to the Hero Academy, and look forward to seeing you make 39% improvement in every area of your life this year. Thanks for watching, listening. I'll see you next week. Team Super Dad out.
This has been Team Super Dad. Find us at teamsuperdad.com. Join the program and create the best life ever for you and your children. You are not alone. You're on Team Super Dad.